Well, welcome to this video. I'm Sean Huber, and it's a real pleasure to be able to tell you a little bit about the UFO Bull, which is the first Huber era, the build 001 CC, CC standing for Ciro Ciampi, who's been an absolute hero in getting this car onto the road and a pivotal part of the UK partnership structure of Huber. So let's talk a little bit about the bull that bears my name. I still can't believe Huber is on there, and it's been quite a journey to get it this far, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be able to talk you through it. So we started off with a conceptual design. It was purely Photoshop, and everyone loved it, and I was very, very honored to receive such great feedback. So the next challenge, and the next step, a logical step, was to get a car, take the bumpers off, and scan the whole thing. Scan the bumper inside, outside, and most importantly, scan the naked front and back of the car. After that, we realized, damn it, we have a cross member that is absolutely blocking us from creating the conceptual design that we had initially set off to do. So we had to go back to the drawing board. And this is the result of going back to the drawing board. If you look at the car from a profile view, it's just menacing, absolutely insane. We all love it, and I'm humbled to have the first car in the UK. And the truth of the story is that we were planning a UAE launch, and it's still scheduled. However, Ciro intercepted the first build, the 001 build that was supposed to go to the UAE, got intercepted, and that is forever etched into our company history, in the beginnings of our company history. Let's talk about the logo. As you can see, we have a little shield on top of a larger shield. The reason for this is quite simple. We would not be able to exist if we couldn't build on top of the already perfect, iconic car. And this way, we honor the base vehicle because we wouldn't exist without it. Let's have a look at the front. The lower front in particular. As you can see, we have these large protruding vents. This was done on purpose because the normal Aventadors have a design that tucks in underneath their nose, and we figured a very simple way to make the car so much more dramatic is that it extends beyond the lower nose. And we've managed to do this with these two insane air vents. Let's have a look at the back. So if you look at the back, wow. Okay, so the first thing that happened was that we were challenged because the back has less surface area than the front, so it is significantly smaller mold. And we needed to find a design that would stand out on a smaller surface area. So we needed to go radical. We needed to think of large air vents and turbine looks. And of course, the result is a fighter jet, actually a UFO. We sat on this design for the rear for half a year. Now, yes, a lot of design studios can do a design within a couple of days and weeks, but we really took our time, because what we did is, what you're looking at right now actually is the result of 6 or 7 loops. We first created one design that looked great, but it now provided us with a new perspective on what is now possible now that we've achieved this first challenge. And after creating the design that you really, really want, you have to consider it not only from a packaging standpoint, but also from a production standpoint, because now surfacing plays a role. And what we in the industry, especially our 3D surfacers and 3D modelers, call surfacing is the level of reflections. So there's surfacing in A, B, and C quality, and these are really only telling in the reflections. So to the naked eye, a surface might look straight. However, you can see a reflection of a tree as a wobbly surface if you haven't used the correct surfacing tools. So this is of course very challenging for everyone in the industry, and we needed to adapt our design around all of these elements. Again, looking at the rear, you can see that as opposed to other Aventadors, our design from the brake lights down protrudes outwards. Take a look at the old Aventador and have a look. From the brake lights downwards, it tucks in underneath, in the direction of the motor. This is also a big, big element of our design that sets us apart. If you look at a lot of aftermarket players, they have exchanged the diffusers. So they've had the advantage of making their diffuser mold into their rear bumper or their new rear designs. In our case, personally, I thought the challenge would be to use the old diffuser, because this is what really makes the Aventador recognizable. And now we would have even smaller surface area to make a radical change. So this is why our design complements the old diffuser. And for those who don't know, as beautiful as the 4x4 carbon fiber is, the Era is also going to be available in crushed carbon. Our next challenge was to package the parking sensors. Of course, considering that we scanned a car in the UAE and we used data from a scanned car from Germany, we had the advantage of seeing and drawing an average. So we placed our parking sensors exactly where they would best be able to accommodate a GCC spec car and a European spec car. You know, it's humbling to see the final product, because you look at it on a 3D tool on a screen for 24 months, and you hope that it'll look as good, at least as good in real life, because you can see on the screen, you can get fairly good impressions and simulations of what it'll look like in real. But then when you stand in front of it, you see the volume of the vents protruding and its presence. It really demands attention. Yeah, so this project has been quite a commitment, but needless to say, it's paid off. To see it on the lawn at the launch and everyone crowding around it was a moment that I obviously was dreaming of, but at the same time would never have dared to dream that awesomely about. We've had great support in the UK. Our UK distributor, Raj Singh from Supercar Service, has managed to fit the Era to the UFO Bull within 1 hour. It was remarkable. We were all relieved. Of course, I was very nervous because it was the first time it was being fit to a car properly, and I had to stay cool. Obviously, I was very anxious, but it was on within a matter of minutes, and then the next step was fitting the parking sensors and adjusting bits and bobs here and there. But that's it. Basically, the fitment was perfect, and we've received lots of compliments. I'm still blown away. So thank you so much to everyone who's been involved across the years, and particularly the partners in the United Kingdom. Thank you very, very much. This is going to be the flagship car for Petrolheadonism, our HUBER brand ambassador in the United Kingdom. Thank you so much to Petrolheadonism and Ciro Ciampi. This is the beginning of a new era together.